Hello, welcome back to the M300 noise. I've got the bearings. The bearings are here. Here they are. This is the little geezers. Got Teflon coating inside, which is very posh. I'm not sure whether that's required or not, or whether I suspect that these composite bearings, which are described in the Harrison manual, probably started life out with some sort of coating on there. And they just seem to be lead now. This is a sort of, I think these have got sintered lead with Teflon or something. It's sort of slightly oily well, it's probably the Teflon I can feel. But as you can see, they're split bearings. They've got a little split in them, and I'm going to have to press them into the wheel, which is still inside the gearbox, of course. As per the advice of you guys, I'm going to make a mandrel. I've got a bar of aluminium here, which I've just done a bit of knurling. I was actually halfway through making a video on knurling when all this noise problem came up. So there's some knurling on there, which is just test knurling. But I'm going to. It's just a little bit oversized. I'll turn that down. It might actually be a bit too slack. If it is, I'll just start again. But I'm going to make basically a mandrel out of this, and hopefully, well, I don't know. I don't think it's going to fit in my press, but I've got a friend who's got a 10-ton press, so we may end up doing it in there, although it might well fit in the vise as well. I've got a Paramo number 3, and it may well go in a vise, and we may be able to do it in a vise, but I'd rather do it in a press where you can get everything straight and everything. So first things first, I'm trying to mandrel up for this. So I'm going to do 28mm OD on here, and then the actual bit that slips inside the bearing, I'm going to do 25 or just under 25, few thou under 25. Well, probably 4 or 5 thou under 25, simply because it's a split bearing. So I don't want to constrict it. I want to make sure it's got room, but obviously I don't want it to twist either. So it's got to be sort of snug, but not too snug. So let's just chuck this up first, and how long we're going to need it? Well, that's probably alright as it stands. If that doesn't work out, I'll re-chuck it from there. It doesn't really matter about concentricity or anything, so I'll just tilt you that way so you can see what's going on there. Let's just chuck that up there. Now, first of all, see all of this. Right, let's just where's my glasses? Tools. That's up there. You'll be able to hear the noises as well, which will be lovely for you. I've still got a few tools. Yes, it'll still be making a lovely noise, of course. Right, let's have a look. What spot of speed are we going to do this at? There we go. Two. There's my colour, but just as a quick. Right, so we've got about a mil to come off there. half that off there at least, so let's 5 that off the total. Sure we're somewhere near. Yeah, we are 996. So let's have a look with get the mic on the job. Right, that'll do. That should put me slightly under. It does slightly under the OD of that. Yep, and feel a ridge on there. Moves it slightly under. So that should go in. Okay. Yep, I think that we're going to be okay there. I think just to be on the safe, I might just take a smidge more off that. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's get a parting tool. Now, well, how much I need for my mandrel, I'm not sure, but if I just make it enough to push on, I think it does recess a bit, so I'll do about there. Actually, I will be able to get my tool in there, so should be okay. Let's just slow it down a bit because I'm a bit of a chicken when it comes to parting off. Right. Hello, welcome back. There's the old wheel which I took out, and that's the plain bearing. That's my mandrel. Of course, my mandrel's not long enough because I'm such a clown. But I'm just going to use a socket on the end. What I've also found is that my 5C collet, it's for my drawbar for my 5C collet chuck, makes a nice, that should press out fine into there. So if I can get all of this into the vice, I think I can. I'm just going to push this through. So let's get that over there. Right on the limit of the vice, so hopefully the pressure that I need isn't going to be too massive, otherwise we're going to run into a bit of trouble, and then I really might have to go down to my mate's and use his press. Now, oops, let me just get this all lined up and right, and I think that's probably going to be okay. If I just give that up. That was going before. There we go, there's it going there. Now, of course, I'm pushing one bush out with the other bush. When I come to put them back in again, I'm hoping to be able to put one in from one end and one from the other. This is going. It's obviously that's it going there. I'm just going to relieve the pressure and have a look, see where we're at. Yeah, we're coming out, look, and my bush is still relatively easy. The bushes are coming out there, and it's working. That's back in there, and that'll give us. The socket's coming to the end of its trouble now, so I might end up with sockets on sockets. That's it, that's one of them out. So, second one to crack now. Now of course I haven't got a plug long enough to get that one through. So it is going to be a socket on a socket, I'm afraid. There it is, the old one. Poor. Bigger socket, that one there. Okay. Let's start off like that because it gives us more room, I mean. Forces or anything. There we go. That's coming out easy now. There's the second one out. Yep. Mandrel worked. Let's hope it does a nice job of pushing the new ones in. Right, let's give this a clean out and inspection. If you guys can see this alright. Let's clean it out. Okay. Well, it's just a bolt really. I mean, obviously there's nothing awful in there. I think we're okay. So what I'll probably do is push one in from one end, put the spring clip back in, push it back against the spring clip, and then push the other one back through. That's what my plan is anyway. So here's my little spring. Here's the spring clips here. Let's just clean these fellas up. So covered in cack and grease and all other. Right. There we go. Let's do the other one. Oh, that's it. Right. There's that. So I reckon, stick one of these back in. I'm not quite sure what the best way of getting these fellas in and out is. I just sort of did it really. I put one end in first and then just pressed it together until it clicked into place. There we go. So that's now in its seat. So if I press one of the new bearings in there from this side down into there, new one into here and mandrel. Let's see how it's going to go. Right. Wish me luck. That's the end with the... Now this is the bit where it could all go wrong. This could bail off. Right, let's get it in there first like that. That's the squareness that's important here, isn't it? That's my new bearing, sort of ready to go in. Oh, I'm worried now if it doesn't go in straight or right. Might be the end of the road. Well, not exactly. I did get a spare, so if I really screw up, I'll just take it down my mate's because I think he knows a bit about this one. Let me just get them back in there true. Right, I reckon that feels about right now. It's going in. Go in. Perhaps what I'll do, actually, having thought about that for 10-20 seconds, it's in nice and straight. What I might do is put the circlip back in and just push it back. That way I don't have to push it all the way through. So let me put the, well, it's not called a circlip, is it? I don't know what this is called, but it's a clip ring, spring clip ring doodah thingamabob. Just get that back in like that, into its seat. Okay, that looks seated quite nicely. Okay, let me just push the marble on the bloody floor again. Let me just clean it again. To press any bits into the nice shiny surface which it seems to have. So if I, no, of course I've got the spring in this side now, I've got to take that out, haven't I? So there we go, I can put this back through. There we go. And I get my big, let's get the big one, which is straighter, this is a snugger fit. And if I push that back now against that, against the clip, it should be in place. I think it's just a smidge more. No, I think that's up against the spring now. So that's in. It's nice and straight, and the gap looks nice and straight and nipped up. I'll tell you what I haven't done yet to see if it fits on the shaft. Should be interesting, shouldn't it? So there's the shaft. There it does. Still a bit of play in it, but well, we'll see. Let's get the other bush in. This is all going to be worthwhile. Right, so bush into there, that way around. So that's kind of just got a plate on there. Let's just set this in here. That's all we need on this. Oops, that was a dumb thing to do. Right, gear back in. It's funny it comes out that way, but it doesn't go. Oh, there it is, it has gone back in. Back through there, back through the end here. swing a bit more. Use the same bit of aluminium just to whoops, use the same bit of aluminium just to get that in. Right, that's lined up. There we go. Get that flush, and yeah, it just needs about another couple of taps like that, and it's equal on both sides. Yeah, it's the same on both sides then. And then all we do is with an Allen key, I think it's a 4 mil, was it? There it is. We tighten down the Allen key. Right. That's nice and tight. That holds the shaft in place. That's my rag, so to speak. Right. I'm going to have to put the top back on because the gearbox has got oil in it at the moment, so we won't find out for a few moments rather. Right, so lid. I'm not going to tempt fate, I'm just going to put a couple of these in just to keep it in place. Belt covers off, but we're okay there, I think. Yeah. Right. Oops. Right, guys. Moment of truth. Let's put it on 180. Let's try it. Okay, everything clear, everything free. Just move it a bit closer. Right, we're ready. I'm not running. I know why. I've still got the side cover. All that excitement. All that excitement. Right, side cover. I'm going to put the side cover back on. There's the side cover back on. Nice and safe. No wheels showing. Everything clear. Yep. Just try it in neutral. Okay, and here we go. That's not good. Sorry, that's just the belt guard. Belt guard. I'll put that on in a moment. I'm just too excited not to. Have we go. Right, here we go. Ooh, that's better. That's a lot quieter. I'd say so. It's still there though, the noise is still there. Right, let's try it on a sensible speed like 800, which is what we were just turning at just a moment ago. Hey, I tell you what, that's a massive improvement. Massive improvement. Still a noise. The noise is still there, but wow, it's gone down hugely. I suspect that the other shaft probably needs the bearings doing on it as well. Because it's probably had the same sort of, you know, all the different wears have all contributed to the problem together. But I'm actually quite pleased by that. Let's try it on 1200 and see what that sounds like. It makes the noise. It makes the noise. Let's go to the other extreme. Let's do 40. Yeah, it's a downside better. I can just hear the other gears now. And although it has got the little rhythmic thing going, I think we're really on the right track here, and that is definitely loads better. That's one. Let's do 540. I'll tell you what, just run it in neutral again. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that shaft's still involved in neutral though. He just doesn't engage with the spindle. Right, let's go 540. It's actually worse at this end of the shaft. I don't know if I've got it in gear right there. It just sounded a bit weird. I have to say, I very rarely use this this position. That's usually bad. That's right at the far end of the shaft, so maybe the bearing at that end is a lot more worn than the one at that. Because if I go right over here to 58, that's right. We've now got the cluster at the other end. What do we get there? 58. Yeah, it's still there, but it's, yeah, it hasn't gone. It hasn't gone. We're not jumping. I thought I was going to be skipping around, doing the hula, but yeah, I'm not, am I? That's an awful lot better. I can almost live with that. Almost live with that. Close, but no cigar. Right, I'm signing off. I'll see you soon.